Nitro Karts. P6, Kyrie Dozit and a TK, and Ben Brumon in a Nitro in P8.
Domino in the top 9, then Cruz Dittmer inside the top 10 this afternoon for their race. Then as we continue on with the order, we have a few more karts in the field. Dawson McCloskey and Roger Hewitt back there. Charlie Fletcher, Amelia Rowe, and Will Holzner will be in the rest of the field. Waiting for the command to go. It's Kid Kart. It's 12 laps. And these drivers get the signal. It's green, green, green. We're underway. And look at Maverick Reddick getting the jump immediately outside to the point.
Maverick Reddick wasting no time getting that jump out of turn 1 there through and along, and William Heckman now on the back foot will have to complete a pass here and get through into the lead. So that'll be what's really going to be interesting to watch here. How will that handle that 221 of Wyatt Burlesman in P3? We'll also have to watch through. There's the pass down the inside. The defense, though, of the 75 to the outside to the inside here. And now side by side, Heckman Reddick. They come through turn 9, and it's the 8 to the inside on the 75.
Heckman holding off the charge for the time being. One of the Heckman brothers racing machines. VOR kart trying to park it in front. The CRG builds up momentum. Maverick Reddick coming off strong stretches in Texas. Just came off a win of the inaugural running of the FLKC just a week ago. Looking to add to that resume even more so with one of the biggest wins he can get here with the Spring Nationals. One of the drivers who contended for last year's Grand Nationals also. But keep in mind, it's going to take a lot of momentum to build it back up. Heckman's really good, it seems, through the flowy areas now that he's got this advantage back.
Let's see here how the advantage plays, what can come along here side by side back behind. That's the 01 of Vaughn and the 90 of Maxwell going side by side. And then watch out for the Tony Kart there of Dozit, who will be trying to make a run as well. These three in a great battle for P4s. They stand. Burlesman in the 221 just sticking to the back of the top 3 here of Heckman and Reddick, looking for a pass where it can be found, looking to stay in the pace here. And again, you can see the different lines that the Kid Karts take compared to all of our other classes here. They don't swing it out nearly as far through the final corner. A little bit less weight, a little bit less momentum, a little bit less weight transfer that forces the kart to swing through and sweep through some of the corners. And you see the same thing out of 7. They tend to hug the inside heading towards turn 8 here coming out of the corner. They don't wash it out nearly as wide and go for the run. You see it right here. They tuck in, they hold right to that inside blue line.
Yes, indeed, as they rumble their way through. See all of them going clickety-clack around the track as you see Max, well, right now Reddick, I should say, Maverick Reddick, trying to get a little bit of a help there in that circumstance. The tough thing about this is going to be setting up the opportunities to be able to get to Heckman from here, because Heckman's pace going up by about a 10th or 2 per lap on the growing of this gap. It'll set up this buffer. Dozit, meanwhile, Munstos trying to chip away. Vaughn's been doing a good job chipping away also. You would have to argue with that 01 kart.
And doing a great job here. Vaughn in the MGM and Maxwell in the RMS going through, trying to keep a run along that, the 01 of Vaughn there. You see in the mix in the green cart there in 4th. Look side by side here. The number 6 of Dozit in the Tony Kart trying to make some sort of a move there on Maxwell. Not able to make a pass yet, but definitely was peeking around there, wanted to go through and wasn't able to capitalize yet here. We're a 3rd race distance done, and you can see there through 10, a little bit more pace goes towards Maxwell than Dozit, and that allows them to kind of swap through. The 221 now of Burlesman trying to hold off Vaughn as they go through, but up front, Heckman, half a second gap when they cross the line. It's gonna maintain 3/4 of a second now as it goes through. Burlesman is gonna be in 3rd in that Kart Republic, and again, Vaughn and the MGM still right on the back.
All of them trying to run the lower lines as they continue to set things up. Right Now the field's starting to really spread apart. They are potentially about to reach row amongst the lap traffic coming up the road in one of the Burrell Arts. Traffic management has been a critical part of things, as there's the 10 machine trying to make sure there's no issues. Amelia look to keep things steady when Heckman gets up there in the next few moments. All while Vaughn, close battle on track. There's the traffic, looks to move to the inside. No impediment. In fact, good move there to lift the race leaders in that circumstance. Takes the bottom away, but does not lose too many people time outside of one battle with Hemphill getting a chance for a fight.
Yeah, Hemphill looking to get past Dozit here. You see Dozit looking to the left there. One of the perks of that clear face shield there for Hemphill and Dozit is looking through, and there was one spin there in the background. That is the 01 of Vaughn, who has spun, and unfortunately is going to drop well down the order. We'll see what the MGM cart there of Liam Vaughn can do to come back. Was running fastest laps of anybody last time over the line, and then spins it out in turn 2. We'll see how that comes back through. Here's the 6 of the 90 coming together as they battle Dozit Maxwell. Bumper to bumper coming through into turn 9. It's a dive down the inside. It's a ramp over the curb for the number 6 there of Kyrie Dozit. Able to get away with it and keep that cart going, but trying to make a move, and the 90 loops it on his own. Maxwell's over.
Maxwell spins around on the RMS machine, loses a ton of ground, and just like that, everybody starting to see attrition. Dozit, after nearly turning his cart into an airplane, gets the crossed flags at the stripe, needs to gain about 2 seconds to have a chance at the podium. Mind you, all of this as well, Reddick has turned up the wick, went faster the leader last time, now back within range, full tilt on the throttle as he tries to keep himself close. Heckman been really good out of 8th though. Reddick has to be smart on this plan here, Bradley, because last time he tried to make a pass on this cart, he had a half spin and lost a ton of ground.
Yeah, and it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass. You have to be careful here going through, and this is one of the things in Kid Kart that you learn on the fly sometimes, is just what you can do, what you can't do. If you aren't fully committed in and careful with it, sometimes it proves to show a problematic moment, and you can end up in a half spin, you can ramp a curb. You never know what's going to happen in Kid Kart sometimes when these carts get side by side and these kids go for it here, as we see Vaughn trying to close up the gap.
And one of the drivers who also has experience racing over at Trackhouse Motorplex as well, in terms of some of those starts. Coming up to what will be about 4 to go. We get to the stripe. Reddick stays within a 10th. Last time by, once again, was quicker than the race leader. Reddick also has the fastest lap of the race, the 58.8 compared to Heckman's 58.997. You're 2/10 quicker. See those differences yet again. Just Heckman is really good at setting up the right line to carry speed out of the corner compared to Reddick, who's able to charge up more so in the straight line. There it is with Reddick having to use a little bit more of a wider line down the front stretch. Sets him up for a shower line because of that for 1, 2, and 3 and onward. Well, Heckman just is arcing the corners and is able to gain a little bit more ground from the exits.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch and see how they battle and what happens as they go along, because it's that difference in line, and it's that difference in sort of racing style that starts to evolve, especially at some of the higher ages in Kid Kart. Again, a reminder for those of you who aren't familiar with Kid Kart, this is ages 5 to 8, and you must be 5 years old to start racing in Kid Kart. Once you get up there near 8 and you're getting ready to age up into cadet class, you can see a lot of that racecraft really show here, and that's often what you see come to the front of the field in Kid Kart, is you see drivers who really have that racecraft in, and they try to take those alternate lines. They try to do those different things and really set stuff up as they go, like we're seeing right now. The 75 trying to take a different line, wants to try to go for it into turn 1, but still isn't close enough. That pace difference really kind of showing itself here as they go through. But that time around, Reddick was quicker than Heckman, but it's quick out of the corners, but down the straights, I think Heckman has a little bit more pace.
Yeah, we're seeing that right there. Reddick Able to chip away. Again, 5 and 6 seems to be a narrow bread and butter spot. Battle is on for the podium. Doza did close up the gaps, it looks like, with some of the traffic. Burlsman still not around, be able to get around said cart. Hands up, pop up, this time through. Hewitt able to settle in now. Now Doza has to get this pass done quickly, all the way to the bumper of the 4. All while the leaders now also passed on by the 10 machine again. 2 to go. Reddick needs to figure out a way to close this gap by a couple of kart lanes if he wants a shot to get the lead here. Heckman looking poised.
This is where it's going to be very, very important to keep things smooth and consistent. This is the tail end of a long weekend for these young drivers, and they've got to make it all the way to the end. Now, at this point, you got the little bit of adrenaline that's going to start kicking in when you saw that 2 to go sign. That's going to help a bit, and that's going to help Reddick really start to try to close this gap here as they come along here. Let's take a look as they come through out of 8, 9 into 10 and 11. We're going to go along through the left again, still holding on 11, 12, 13, and then 14, the hard right here, setting the line, holding on to it. Into 15 we go. And you can see again the 75 running a little bit wider, that 008 in a great position. The 75 looking to move up the inside. Still, is this close enough? Not close enough for the pass here. We're 1 to go, white flag out, but the 75 definitely looking to try to make a move here, has closed the gap considerably.
Might have one true chance to get alongside, and Reddick needs to pick the right spot to do it. Already with these kid karts, you lose an opportunity up through turn 8 with the lower line. Heckman had to go up the track for a moment. Reddick might have a little bit of a boost. No scent coming up yet. Tries to keep close up for 9. Best opportunity coming up here. They work their way up towards 10. Reddick lost a bit of ground up through 9. Not close for the lunge. One more opportunity. Reddick tries to find a way to chip down the gap. Instead, William Heckman carries on the stellar speed. William Heckman wins in Kid Kart.
Great run from Heckman there. Reddick gave a run for the money, though, and kept Heckman honest as we see everyone come behind.